A boss mom doesn't allow society to tell her that her goals no longer matter. She handles her business both inside and outside of the home. Welcome to the Boss Mom Movement Podcast with me, your host, Ashley White, where you'll hear me speak with millennial moms who have not allowed the title mom to stop them from achieving their goals. During this podcast series, we'll discuss how we balance it all and other mom-related topics. It's a space for all my bossy mamas, whether you're an entrepreneur, mama in corporate, or both. Being a boss mom isn't easy, but it's our lifestyle. So with that being said, all right, boss moms, let the movement begin. Hey, boss moms, welcome back for another episode, another season of the Boss Mom Movement Podcast. I just want to thank you all for the support so far. I did review my stats over the last year. And it was over 700 downloads. So I'm just so thankful for you all just supporting me, because this was a little scary for me just to get out and be in front of the camera or be in front of the mic and listen to myself. I don't know. I'm like weird like that. I don't like to hear the sound of my voice, let alone seeing myself on camera. So this is new, right? Season 3 is bringing you something that is a little scary for me, but new. And as the title says, change equals growth. So this is me changing and getting out of my comfort zone. I know that's something that I've been saying the whole series really is just taking risks, getting out of your comfort zone. The thing about growth is that it involves changing and taking those risks, because in order for us to grow, we have to get out of that stale state or the thing that we're used to. So welcome back. Okay. And through this season, you're going to hear me talk to a bunch of great moms and really just tying in what I wanted the boss mom to be. So going into this new year, and happy new year, guys. It's what day I'm recording today is day 9, 6 months for my baby boy. He just turned 6 months today. And 6 months that I've been a mom. So going into this new year, I'm just really taking in all of the newness. I was I came into this new year, I would say, ready. Generally, I'm kind of just tiptoeing into it. Okay, what's going to be different this year? I know it's all about the new year, new me. For me, it was new year, better me. And just because I personally feel like it was a lot of things that I was doing that just stopped me from success in different ways. And one of those was just being afraid to grow and being afraid to change what I was used to. And if you work in corporate like I do, then you know sometimes we get into these corporate jobs and we're working for these people that they're afraid of change. They're afraid that, if they change just a little bit of something, that is just going to make everything a disaster, or they're not going to know what to do or how to handle it, which I feel like is, for the most part, a lot of us. You are just used to doing these things in certain ways, and that's why we don't see great results. For the longest, I was I don't want to be an entrepreneur. Now, granted, I do think entrepreneurship is not an easy task. It is not for everyone. Everyone is not made to be a boss. Sorry. And that's just the reality. And so I was just oh my gosh, being an entrepreneur is going to be scary, because I know how I am. I like fast results, which a lot of people, they like fast results, fast money, all of that to come fast and easy. And the reality is it doesn't. And so you go out and you're okay, I'm going to make this company, right? I'm going to have my own company. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And you don't really have a plan. Or you feel like you have a plan and you're okay, I have to stick to this. But the reality is that plan is going to change. And so that's why I want to talk to you all about today. Change equals growth. That's where I got it from. Because when I started this podcast, and any other business for that matter that I have, if you read my bio, then you'll know I do have a travel agency. I'm also a business partner for a hair company. Shout out to Honey Hair Co. and Ashley's Adventures. But when I started doing those things, it didn't always stay the same. I may have changed something the very next day, just to be quite honest. So I'm going to use Boss Mom for an example. Before I started Boss Mom, I did not have everything written down from A to Z. I had a plan, I had a vision, and I knew what my focus was going to be. but I did not know exactly what I wanted to do with the brand itself, all the way through. I had some ideas, but sometimes, you say, oh, I could do this, and then you start doing it, and you're like, I don't really want to do that. And that's okay, right? And that's what I tell people all the time. It's like, write it down, make a plan, have a plan, but don't really get tied up with the particulars, right? Because those are the things that are going to change. So I had a logo I put together myself, like I'm not ashamed to say, and I'm not afraid to jump off the porch with something that I made on my own. Not to say that I would never change or get it professionally done, but you got to start somewhere, right? And sometimes you don't have time to wait on other people. So I had the vision come to me. I'm like, I want to build a community for moms, a safe space for us to just learn from each other. But not only that, like working moms, because I'm a working mom. Like, I didn't plan on quitting my job. I did not plan on stopping my life for my kid. And that was the scary part. I want to honestly say that's why I was even afraid of having my son, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was not sitting here jumping for joy when I first found out that I was pregnant, because this is the societal thought around being a mom is that you pretty much give up who you are or give up your life and your goals for your child. And I'm not, down talking any mom that has done that, because that is great. You're giving your all to your kids or your kid, and then you say, okay, I'm going to take care of me on the back end or later on. That wasn't me. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm not 30 yet. I still have things I want to do professionally, and just like for myself, like, I wasn't necessarily like, oh, I need to be married, because I had kind of just gotten out of that. That was something that I grew up wanting to be married before I had my family. But it was like my boyfriend and I, we were new in the sense of being in the same state. Like, we had started off long distance. And so I'm like, okay, we moving in together. We're finally be in the same state. We'll get to enjoy each other. And like, we did all that. We moved in, and then we moved in April. I got pregnant in October. So y'all do the math. I'm not doing no math right now. But I was pregnant. And so it wasn't even a year of us living together that we found out that we were getting ready to have our first child. And so I'm like that person. I'm like, okay, I got to have stuff planned, A to Z. I need to know how this thing is going to really flush out. And the reality is, you don't know how it's going to flush out until it flushes out, right? Because so many parts change. There's so many moving parts when you do anything, really, when you make a plan about anything. And so I was just like, okay, you know what? This is a blessing from God. We both wanted kids, so we just started our family early. Neither one of us had planned for him, and it is what it is. And so that just, the birth of my son, well, I ain't gonna say the birth of him, because I started Boss Mom before him, but just the idea of him is really where the idea of the Boss Mom came from. And so I'm just like, you know what? I don't even care, because I live life so cautious. Like, that's how my boyfriend explains it anyway. I'm so cautious. I don't really take risks. And so I was like, you know what? I got the idea. Boom. We put it together. What platforms do I need to download, or how do I get to on these platforms? And I'm going to just go for it. I always had the vision of the moms coming to, the supportive space for the moms. As I went through this journey, y'all, the first 2 seasons, I kind of had to sit and think. And that's why I just took so long to release season 3, because I was taking time to regroup. And y'all, it's okay to take that time away, regroup, get your thoughts together, and come back to the drawing board, right? That's how we see all these businesses thriving. Do you think that the idea that they started out with before the business even jumped off the porch is still what's happening today? No. In order for us to be successful, we have to change. That is what growth is. It's not staying stagnant. Something got to change, even if it's your logo, And for me, I'm changing my logo, changing brand colors, changing the fact that we are now on YouTube. Okay, because I was on YouTube, I started it, but it was just the audio, and I didn't keep up with it, because I just felt like, okay, if you can listen to it on Apple or Google, Spotify, or any of those things, you don't really need to listen to it on YouTube. But now I want to give you all visuals. I want you all to see me, my personality, see the other moms, for us to, I don't know, just being real. I always talk about transparency and authenticity. Clearly I can't talk, but whatever. So I'm like, yep, we're going to just get in front of the camera. No, I don't have the best background. And if you're watching me, you can see it's a good background for me because I'm a Delta and it's an elephant. But, when you look at other podcasts that may be on screen, maybe they have cool, fancy backgrounds or they're in a studio. I'm not there yet, and that's okay. I'm taking y'all through the journey with me. I tell y'all all the time, this is a movement. It's a journey. So you'll see me, you'll watch me change, and then I can look back and say, you know what? This is where the Boss Mom started. This is where we are today. And that's the part of being an entrepreneur. Honestly, any brand or any business that you are launching, you're going to want to see that growth. You're going to want to see where you came from so that you can be proud of where you end up. So I still don't know the Z part, right? I know the A part. We passed A, right? Starting off, launching, but I don't know where the Boss Mom is ultimately going to go. I know what I have in store. I know what I want to do. Even with my vision, I had to figure out what I wanted exactly from my target audience, right? When I initially started, I said moms. Now I'm thinking millennial moms because that's who I am. I want this brand to speak to who I am in my own journey, right? And so I'm a millennial mom, I'm a working mom, and I have businesses on the side. So now I just tied all of that together because I want to meet other moms who are in the same space that I'm in, and I want to learn from them. And that's what I want this community to be, for us learning from each other. If you're a working mom, how you're balancing. Let me tell y'all something. This first 6 months, and I know y'all are moms and you've probably been there before, or maybe you're going through it with me because you're a new mom like I am. But it has not been easy. And that's one thing that I'm finding out. The Boss Mom lifestyle, it's not easy, but we get it the F done. Okay? I'm not going to curse. I'm going to keep it classy. But we get it done. And for me, that was so new. Like, I'm definitely not used to having a baby wanting to know what I'm doing at all times. Mama, you get in the shower, I'm getting in there too. Like, I hear people, hear moms talk about it. Like, you basically, this is your life, right? He's your life. And any other kids that I have after him. But I'm just like, wow, I can't get stuff done. But you know what? I just have to reorganize, reprioritize. Like, and I'm just so happy that he came into my life when he did, because he is helping me just become even more organized and to take risks. Because let me tell you something, I do live for my kid. Even though I'm still working and doing everything that I do it with the thought of him. Because at the end of the day, I'm building my empire. His father is building his empire for him and our other kids to come at some point. And so it's not me, just giving up what I want and just focusing on what Riley wants, because trust and believe, what Riley wants is definitely important. Anything my son wants, as long as it ain't illegal, he gonna have it, okay? But that's where I have to continue to do what I'm going to do in order to support him. And so, but I'm still, I'm going to be happy, because I feel like in order for me to be the best mom that I'm going to be, and that I am, is that I have to be happy as well. And I have to continue to go for my goals and have things on my plate professionally and personally that I want. And so this platform is so near and dear to my heart because it meant something when I started it. It still means something today, but my purpose, I truly feel like I found purpose. As you guys know, like, I studied psychology in school, thought I was going to be a marriage and family counselor or therapist. And then after I graduated, I decided that wasn't the route I wanted to take. But I always found myself doing jobs where I was helping others. When I graduated college, I went into higher education. I was helping students get into school. And most of my students were underserved students. And so that was something I felt like, okay, with my degree in psychology and my need to want to be a lending hand and helping hand to others, like, I was happy doing that job. It didn't pay the best, but I was happy. But then a couple of years later, down the line, okay, I got to start making some more money. So I was like, okay, where else can I go in order to help people, but that was going to bring in some money? I ain't ashamed to say, like, look, these other people getting paid, I'm going to get paid too. So I was like, okay, what can I do? My parents had been in HR for years, and I was like, okay, let me see where I can go. And that was transferable, right? Transferable skill set. That's important if you're in corporate. Always think about that if you think about changing industries. But I had to see, okay, I was recruiting college students. Now I'm going to recruit college students to the workforce because I went through university relations. So, okay, cool. Boom, boom, boom. Doing that. Pandemic hits. Lose my job just like everybody else pretty much. And I was approached by my previous supervisor for a role in diversity. Still diversity recruitment. And I was just like, you know what? I think that's a good look for me. And not like good look like, oh, to make me look good, but based on my heart desires and where I felt or what I felt was important. Like diversity in the workplace, if you work in corporate, like, it's almost like slim to none. I mean, like now with all the unfortunate situations that have happened in the world, like diversity is like all the topic in corporate, right? But it meant something to me personally. Like I went to a HBCU. I am a Black woman, and so I wanted to be able to help other Black women and other Black people in general, really, any minority on top of that, get into the jobs that they are meant to be in. And so that was the route I took. So boom, I'm happy, corporate life, love what I do, love to talk about recruitment, and I'm always willing to help other people. Now I'm like, okay, what can I do? My own thing. I always felt like, because my mom always said, you need to have something of your own, right? Okay, I had Ashley's Adventures. I like to travel. So I'm like, okay, cool, I can help other people. But I wanted something that really just meant something to me. And that was why I always had a hard time even thinking about entrepreneurship, because I just felt like, well, I don't know how to do anything, right? Like, thought I wanted to do hair back in the day. So I was like, okay, maybe I can have my own hair salon. But then that was short-lived. So I was just like, I don't know. I don't have a skill, like, in order to have my own business. And when I got pregnant, that was that purpose that came to just tap me on the shoulder and was like, this is something that you can go crazy with. But I had to change, y'all. Like, I had to really sit up there and say, okay, Ashley, even if you don't have everything planned out from A to Z on how you want this to look, at the end of the day, it's your baby. It is yours. So whatever you do with it is what you do with it. If it doesn't go all the way through to how you thought it was going to, like, that's okay, because at the end of the day, you created a community, amongst people that like what you had to say or like what other people had to say that you bring on your show. And so I just really wanted to jump into the new year and just give y'all a little bit more into me and what I feel is important when it comes to growing and being who you are. Like, don't be afraid to take these risks. Don't be afraid to shift your focus. Like, if you have a business and you feel like, oh, I want to change something in the business, but I can't because this is how I started. Girl, boo. Like, don't even let that stop you, because I literally was sitting up here. I was just like, I'm basically changing boss moms. But at the end of the day, I wasn't, because what I wanted was a space for moms to come together, and that's still what it is. But now I'm focusing on really honing in on the fact that we're working moms, whether we have our own business, whether we work for someone else, whether we do both. This is a space for you, because let me tell you something, mama, you are doing the damn thing. Damn, not really a cuss word, so I can say that. But you are doing it, and you are still a bomb mom at the same time. Like, it is nights that I don't get sleep, because I'm doing whatever Riley needs me to do as his mama, but I'm also taking care of the things that I need to do as well. And so I just want you ladies to be motivated and to not be afraid to change anything that you're doing, because you have to do that in order to grow into the person that you're going to be. And let me tell you, I ain't done changing. It's probably going to be some more things that change along the way. But as long as you guys are with me on this journey, you're going to, get some great tips, advice, and just overall laughs through this podcast. But I'm bringing you events, merchandise, which I'm not even a salesperson, so I kind of was like teetering on that. But I do like merch with my own like name on it, so I'm gonna bring it to y'all. Events, I think I said that before, but all of that is what the Boss Mom is. So I want you to listen to me and subscribe, yes, to the podcast, but I also want you to really take the journey with me and support the event, support other moms, because that is what I'm going to be bringing you all. I want us to look at what other moms are doing, because a lot of times we're doing the same thing. Learn from us, but then support each other. If moms have businesses, I'm here to support you, and I want all of us to support each other. Like, that's what we got to do. We got to lean on each other, ladies. And yeah, that's really what I wanted to just come out the gate with. So welcome to season 3. Tell a friend, bring another mom in on it, and let's just get to it. I'm really excited. I actually have started interviewing moms already that are going to be released during this season, and I am excited for y'all to hear what they have to say and bring to you, and let's get it. I am not going to allow any type of change to stop my growth, or any type of me taking risks to stop me in nothing anymore. And so that is what I am leaving you ladies with as you venture off into the new year. Like, have your plan, your goals, get it done, find a way to get it done. Don't worry about sleep, because as moms, we know that doesn't even exist anymore. And at the end of the day, do what makes you happy. And in order for you to get to those goals of happiness, like, you're going to have to change. And so that is pretty much all I have for you ladies. And thank you again for the support. Welcome back. Hopefully we don't take a huge break like that again, but life is life, and it is what it is. So if it does end up that I have to take another break like that again, just bear with me. Don't lose sight of this podcast. Don't forget about me. Just come back, okay? But thank you all for coming back, and this is going to be a great season. Thanks for tuning in with me on YouTube, if you are tuning in. And I do have a website now, ladies. It is thebossmommovement.com, so definitely check it out. You can subscribe to the website, but that's where you'll see news about events. You'll see me drop the merchandise that's going to be coming. And yeah, that's where you'll get all your information. You can also listen to my podcast through the website. You can it's links to Apple and Google and Spotify. So I'm excited. If you're watching me, you can see the smile on my face, but if you're listening, you can hear it in my voice. Thank you all so much. So as I always tell you, stay motivated, stay bossy. And until next time, ladies, thanks for tuning in. Hey ladies, if you enjoyed today's episode, do me a favor and leave a 5-star rating and review. You can find the Boss Mom Movement streaming on Apple and Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube. Want to keep up with the movement? Visit my website at thebossmommovement.com and subscribe. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you next time.